with me? Is there something I can say to make you wanna stay with me? To make you wanna stay with me? Is there something I can do to show my love for you?
What up, what up, what up, my people, and happy Easter, happy Resurrection Day. We are live, we are live, we are back in the building, and shout outs to you. So I got a few people coming on, right? Kid is going to come on, and then we got our girl Jazz that's going to be in the building as well. But for now, we got Candace and Professor in the building. Shout out to
What's
them. Much love, much respect. What's good? What's good? Professor, you there, my guy?
He's busy. He's busy.
He's busy. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to y'all for being here early on this Easter Sunday. I was contemplating on having this show, right? Because I know a lot of people are, Easter's a big day, especially for people at where I'm at in Charlotte. It's like, it's everything, right? Like, yo, they celebrating with their family, they in church. The one and only day, yeah, other than Christmas, that most black people go to church. Then they heathens 300 and whatever,
300.
300
Yes.
days a year. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to that. Greetings from how do you pronounce
Moengo.
Moenjo. Say it again. Help me out here.
Moengo, Suriname.
Suriname. Happy Easter. Shout out to you from Africa. We just gonna say that. Shout out to the motherland. I greatly appreciate you, Arnold, for being here with us on an Easter Sunday. I want to know, my guy, if you don't mind me asking you a question, Arnold. How did you find the channel? Was it through Meet to Marry, or did you just happen to stumble upon the channel? Oh, okay, my fault. South America.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm off kill. My apologies. Shout out to Arnold from South America. How did you find the channel, Arnold? Did you find the channel from Meet to Marry, or was you just like stumbling on YouTube and you enjoyed the content? Let me know. I would love to know how you found the channel. Shout out to my guy Amir, who was on today's episode. This week's, episode of Meet to Marry as well. That's my guy. Good, solid dude. And, good, solid dude. He said, it's your first. Okay. Which, thank you for being here. I really appreciate that. It's always good to have new people in the building. Shout out to you. And Skinny is in the building. He said, Candace, give me some wine. He wants some wine. What's going on over there? We're going to call that grape juice. We're going to call that
resurrection. Because it's Resurrection Sunday.
So we got some grape juice in the glass. I love it. So, Professor, there you go. My brother is
You all right? You all right? You good?
Yeah,
Oh man.
I feel very relieved now that I've dropped the kids off at school.
There we go.
Shut up.
There we
Hey,
go.
Mel.
Yo, Mel, what up? What up? What up? That's our girl right there, yo. Let me tell you how hard Mel been working. Mel has been at all of our shoots lately for
Speak
Beats and
these.
Mary.
Get
she
in there,
has been
girl.
going. She has been going in. I'm talking about, yo, it's so dope, yo. She's been a major player along with the rest of the team. You know what I'm saying? He said I had a few minutes after football came. And okay. Your teams played today. Your teams played today. That's what's up. And I know when they say football, we talking about soccer. We're not talking about this American football crap y'all talking about. We're talking about soccer, football.
Yeah, that'll be
Actually,
football
foot
the
to
Americano.
right, an actual foot to a ball. That's what we talking about. So I love
And Candace
it.
like she's put a lot of foots to some asses in her lifetime.
What's that?
And did, just so you know.
Yes, I'm
And I'm not
I
retired either. I'm not retired.
did. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh man, yo, nah. So what's up, y'all? So check it. I don't want to wait for everybody to come on the panel, so we're gonna start, and then when they come in, they come in. But
Let's go.
for now, I have a great show that I wanted to get to, and it's a topic that I believe that needs to be talked about, because what kills me is I watch something on IG, and it's the comment section to me that's the problem. So let me get this started.
Oh, y'all gonna have to read the comments to me because I can't see.
Man, y'all could probably see better than me. I got my glasses over there. I don't want to wear my glasses on live for some reason. Don't ask me why. You know what I'm saying?
Skinny,
He said,
two things, Skinny. One, I was just talking about him too, asking about him. So apparently he's been working a lot. And two, I'm gonna need you to find a link to my book and start putting it in the comments too, sir.
yeah, so the link for your book is actually in the description. So if you can,
Awesome.
Skinny, go. If you can, grab that link for me and throw it in the comment section and let people know that Candace's book is out. Make sure y'all get yourself a copy and make sure you read. Get on top of it. Could you create an ebook for them as well, too, Candace?
So that is the ebook. I am having the paperback book published, but Jerome is going to do the forward, and I don't want to see it until it's actually printed. So the ebook is out. I'm gonna have them produce the paperback book, and then I'm also going to do an audiobook.
Okay, that's what's up. Shout out to Candace and that book. Hold up, you know I gotta give that a round of applause, y'all. I ain't out here gonna leave it like that. All right. And Skinny wants to know, where has Chill been? Chill has honestly, he's been working a lot. Chill works for one of those top it's not pharmaceutical. What's the company that creates the vaccines? There's like Pfizer and
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Pfizer, Purdue, Johnson & Johnson. Yeah, a lot of.
Right. So he's actually been working for one of those top companies, and he's been busy. So it actually takes up his Sundays. So it's very hard for him to focus on being on the show. But he is definitely here in spirit, and whenever he says he has an opportunity to, he's going to be back on the show. So, I speak with him all the time. So he's there. Also, do me a favor, y'all. Candace's book is inside of the chat. So make sure y'all click on the link and get with it. Arnold is asking, what's your topic about? What are you talking about in the book?
So the book is about communicating beyond communication. So beyond words, beyond what we say, we can see first what people look like, how they are carrying themselves, whether or not they're angry, the eyebrows. You have to also take into account where people are emotionally. You also have to take into account culture. So it's basically learning to communicate beyond words so that you can have better interactions and pretty much win in life a whole lot better because we strategize.
There we go. I love it. Make sure y'all get yourself a copy of the book, please. All right. We doing it big.
Hey.
And also,
Yep.
Oh, go ahead, my guy.
No, I was just gonna say Candace is the reason. Candace's book has really transformed me. It's the reason why I started dating deaf mutes. I don't have to worry about communicating.
Damn. Not deaf mutes. People
Next
that
time, don't
cannot.
give him the opportunity. Next time, don't do it.
I ain't know which angle he was coming from, but you know what I'm saying? Also, y'all, do me a favor, and to all of my channel members, make sure you guys are reposting Meet to Marry on your IG to win yourself a pair of these headphones. That's all you got to do. Repost Meet to Marry, and I'll send you these headphones. That's really it. But you got to be a channel member. So if you're not a channel member, you can't enter the win. So, but thank you so much for being here to all my current subscribers, channel members, so on and so forth. I really appreciate y'all. All right, y'all, let's get into the video today. Let's get into the topic. I'm not gonna hold y'all long because I know y'all got families to go to, y'all got all of that going on with yourselves. So I'm not gonna hold y'all too long today. Skinny just dropped the link for the giveaway inside of pretty much you got the instructions inside of this video he just put right there. So click the link in order to win the Apple AirPods Max. I got them right here. I'm trying to get it off, man. I don't want these sitting in my house. I'm not an Apple guy. So I'm trying to get them out my house. So click the link, join in so I can ship them to you, all right? Let's do it. All right, y'all. All right, let me share my screen with y'all real quick. Let's get into it. All right, here we go. Y'all can see that?
Yes.
All right, let's go. So I'm not gonna play any music or anything like that. But what I want for y'all to do is
can we
watch
see
this.
what?
Watch this. What's happening right now on the actual screen.
Y'all can see that? Yeah. We see the title screen.
Mel says y'all can see it.
I see grown men talking podcast.
My bad.
Now, okay.
All right, hold up. All right, there we go. So I'm gonna let this play over and over again, right? Real quick. And I want to talk about this. There's a message in what's happening right now. What's happening is the wife is running. The father, the man, was also running, but he's holding his 3 children up while the wife is running, right? So that's what's happening right now. So in this message, what do y'all see when y'all see that? What give me your first thoughts of the subliminal behind it.
Go ahead, TDP.
I just see what I've always seen: a black woman running away from a black man.
Oh my God!
Okay. Just giving them up to go find her somebody else. That's what I see.
Okay. All right. What about you? What about you?
Ooh, look at 6 months.
Whoa, what up, Jerome?
Ooh, Jerome in the house. You got a cameo appearance. That's what I'm talking about.
Try again. So, what I see is a rendition of the woman going for her career, not being the mother, so the father having to be the mother, and it's causing more distance between them, and the father wasn't created to do that, so he's being held back more, which is meaning she's going and the family's still behind because they're doing it that way. I don't know. That's immediately what I got.
That's what I see. Okay, gotcha.
That's what Professor said in a longer form. But so I'm with that, right? What I see when I see this is very similar to, well, what I see in it is I see 2 things. I see what's actually happening is the woman being able to pretty much move away from her family if the kids stayed with the father. The other part that I also see is what could possibly be. Now, if the mother were to take the weight off the father of at least one of those children, then they'll both be able to make it to the finish line together. The problem that I had with this, from what I'm seeing here, is the comment section. So unfortunately, I know this one person in the comment section, but her comment told me a lot. And I am putting it out there if she's watching, but I am putting it out there because I don't think you should have said this. But this first comment says, listen, I ain't talking about them, but give dad custody, sis. She says, so you can soar and he can have a chance to raise the kids. Switch back and forth, but yes, go and soar. That to me was a problem. That to me was a problem. But the other problem to this was she was not the only one. There was a bunch of comments like, you see, the man holds the women back because the woman usually has the children. So the concept, the idea of it is, oh my goodness, we're not talking about that. It's scary. Because he's not that, obviously.
That's crazy.
And if he was, he
crazy.
wouldn't have the children.
That's
if
the
he
one
was,
that
he wouldn't
automatically
have
go
the
to.
children. She'd have the children back there, and he'd have her with something, a chain around her, pulling her, making her go his speed. If he was that, I don't think it's that.
No, all men are that. All men are that. We're liars, we're cheaters. That's day one. That's day one.
Are you a lie? Because not this one over here ain't. Not now, none of them.
No, she said she tapped it. Maybe she missed something. Mel, if you want to jump on the topic, you can jump in with us as well. Kid, what up, kid?
I mean, this big black guy's over here. I don't know.
Happy Easter 420. You know,
what up, Joe?
We on the same page.
The Lord said, "We toketh, and so we beeth," and He did it on His day.
Hey, puff, pray.
You know,
puff, pray.
You know, who invited?
So basically,
you
know what we're watching here.
Skinny is a traitor. Can I just say that? Because like 1 minute,
Skinny, yo,
all about my life. And then all of a sudden, it was like, who invited Kit to the party?
Get rid of Kit. Why is she here? You know what I'm saying? You got them edible Easter eggs. So
I got all kinds of edibles. I sent Professor a picture of some banana puddings I did.
Like my fat stuff hungry as I don't know what.
So check it, right? When you look at this without much context, I don't know if you heard about what we was talking about, right?
I didn't.
So looking at this video that's on the screen right now, what's your thoughts? The father's holding up 3 children, the mother is running. But what's your thoughts on this?
You know what? On this good Easter Sunday, this the video you choose? Like,
yes.
Yeah. Like you clearly didn't toketh and become oneth on Easter. Like that's evidence. Because you wouldn't have picked this video. What kind of video is this? It's very it depends on like I think it depends on how you think about things and then the context. It seems like, you know, the woman is progressing in whatever the run is representing, right? Life, career, you know, happiness, whatever it is. And now the father is, you know, the one doing the stay-at-home dad kind of energy. And so you know, and also it's like, you know, and again, kind of like what Mel said, it can look like, you know, I'm holding, you know, us down while you make it to the finish line and kind of like, you know, run and make it to, you know, the goal. So, you know, I can see where you're gonna go with this, and that's why I'm like, you chose this video. Like,
no, I actually see multiple things out of this one video. Right, and so I see what y'all see. I don't know if you heard what Professor said.
Lord, you know what? On this Easter, sometimes the Lord protects his special children, and that's why I didn't hear it.
You didn't hear it?
No, because it's called protection.
Hey, blaze and praise. That's what I'm talking about.
Let me tell you about
praise.
Okay.
So basically, my point to what I see in this video It's a little different, right? What I see what y'all saw, but my problem more is what the comment section is saying. The comment section is saying that the father would be better off. I mean, the mother would be better off without the family. So let the kids basically leave your husband. Yeah, because there's a comment. The first comment up there is saying that. Leave your husband so you could soar in life because kids and families hold women back.
Ain't that what I'm trying? That's what I said. I'm trying to tell you. Did you hear what I said? I'm trying to tell you.
We got a problem, y'all. We got a
You're
problem.
not understanding what's happening.
The
You're
male
not
ego
understanding what's
is
happening. He's
a
saying that
fragile
he
thing.
don't agree with that comment.
Let me tell you something.
Hold on.
The male ego.
What you don't see is a white woman doing this. And I'm glad I found 2 Easter bunnies today. Anyway, I'm gonna let y'all keep rocking.
Oh my God.
You know.
Oh my God.
You want to know something? The male ego is a most fragile thing, and I'm gonna leave that.
Yeah,
there.
that's horrible.
It is soft as fresh baby bottom out the coop. It is a fragile. It is a Fabergé egg fragile thing.
And
egos are
and
pitiful. How do y'all want to be leaders with egos like that? Like your ego can
But
break.
We don't want to be leaders. You're right. We don't want to be leaders to these type of women. We don't.
What's the ego? What's the ego?
Here's the ego part. Instead of seeing a man holding down the fort while she's running to the finish line to make it for them, right? They're dressed in one accord. They got the black and white on. She got the black dress. She's running to the finish line. Why is this seen as y'all are holding me back, so I'm running away from you all? If that's the case, why she ain't got on some yellow dress like by you dark ass bitches? Like, why is it not that? Why is it that they're
But who said that though?
You literally
who said that? I'm not saying. I said the comment section said that.
Okay, so the dumbass comment section. You asking who said it? You
and it's a woman in the comment that said it. It's a woman that I know.
Why does this?
No, you said our male. No, you said our male fragile egos, and I'm telling you, it's not a man that said it. It's a woman that said it.
It sounded like you were agreeing with her, which is why I said
no.
That.
I was just telling you what it said.
Even said that, yeah.
No. We have different opinions. I'm saying it looks like a woman is leaving the man, like they've been doing for years. So I don't agree with
leaving the man.
I don't agree with the video.
Years?
Okay.
Black women have been leaving black men for years.
In what capacity? Okay, so what is the context and behind the leaving? Because it doesn't seem like she's leaving her family behind. It seems like he's holding down the kids. Like he's.
Yeah, no, I completely disagree with that, because if that was the case, he wouldn't have had to start running with her. He would have just stood there. He wouldn't have had to run with her. If that was the case, he's struggling right now. That's how my book, I'm going to do a plug right there. If you read my book, part of my book explains that, how looking at body language, the things that's going on. The kids look like they're like struggling to stay on dad. So it's not something where he chooses to stay there. It seems like whether he's letting her go and fulfill her dreams or whatever it is, her not being able to sit there and see and feel what's going on with him, that he's struggling, doing something he wasn't created to do. And not to say that us women can't go for our goals, but not in the way to where we make our husband stand there. Yeah. I don't see he's letting her.
There's another comment also right there that says, on a reflective note, this video emphasizes how having and taking care of children slows our speed in life. That's crazy. Like what? Okay, let me continue. Making sure we are well nurtured is a tough sacrifice, and not all parents can do this. Great job, Brett. You and your hubby make it look so easy. I could get that part. But
so my question is this: if having kids holds you down, why is 70% of our kids born out of marriage? why do I keep hearing women say, "Well, in my 20s, I wasn't ready to be a wife, but in their 20s, they're ready to be a mother." That makes no sense. So if having kids holds you down, stop having them. Stop having them when you're not ready for them. It's that
Yeah,
simple.
not in the context of a marriage. You can't say that having kids holds you down then. So you got to be specific. Yeah, having kids holds you down when you do it out of order, out of divine order.
I don't
Right.
know, because
Doesn't mean
what
that
I'm
it makes
seeing,
life impossible.
right, and that's what I'm seeing in this,
It's
right?
up to
Like
you
if
and who
you
you
make a
are and how you strive.
right, if you make a choice to be a husband and wife, those are choices that you make, right? Then the idea would be you're doing it for life. That usually comes sometime across with kids in most cases. So if a husband and wife has a kid, then why is it that it's looked upon as it's holding the wife back, as what the first comment? And I'm sorry if Keisha's watching. I'm very sorry that I'm calling you out on this, because your comment thoroughly pissed me off. But it's crazy that you could even say that the wife should soar without her husband, leave the husband with the kids so you could soar in life, and then switch the kids back and forth so you could flourish. Not the family, not the family, just you, the wife, you, the
And
woman.
how unfair is it? How unfair is it that now she has the family and now she's regretting not doing what she should have had the choice to do in the beginning? Okay, child number one, we slip up, we just doing it, not having protected sex and stuff. We have the child. But after that, you still made a choice. So if that is the case, that's very selfish. If I made a choice, now we both have a certain expectation. Now all of a sudden I want to pursue this and it's affecting what my duty is, then no. And hold on. Scare, can you highlight Scary's comment?
Which one?
Melanie's comment. The he was wasn't
This
cre- no the no that he wasn't
The
created
last
to
one.
do. Please explain. Yeah. So I'm gonna explain this to you, and this is all relative to where you are in faith. Um, yeah, a man was not created to take care of the home, as far as like be the caretaker of the home. That's not what a man was created to do. A man was created to go out and work by the sweat of his brow. So, but I'm not saying that a man can't do it, because there are plenty single fathers, there are plenty stay-at-home fathers. But a man was not created to nurture the family, the woman was. So there's not much more
Yeah.
explaining with that. It depends on where you are in your faith.
well, I
And,
think
and,
a
and,
lot of
and
that has to do. Okay, Professor, you got it.
no, I was gonna say, if that's the case, then how can a woman create Spanx and become the CEO of Spanx? How can a woman rise through the ranks of Pepsi Cola and become the president of Pepsi Cola and have a board seat? How can other
Like
women of other races rise through the ranks with families, with children, and not have this same issue? That's what I do not understand. If an immediate man, correct me if I'm wrong, if you hear or you see this video, last I checked, people who are married make more money than people who are unmarried. So that all goes together. So all this stuff about she could do better without him and she could move forward without him is bull crap. And then the comment about kids are a product of having sex. No, because some people are out there having kids without sex. They're going out there having test tube babies.
Well, well, okay. Kids is usually a byproduct
they're
of sex,
planning
right? I
that.
mean, it has to be, right? This that's usually how it works. You have sex, you have kids. The problem is what we're talking about right now is more along the lines of people being okay with separation from wife to husband, as if this model. Because to me, this is a beautiful. This right here, what they did, can actually be a beautiful example of, yeah, the husband. You know, Candace made a good point that I didn't think of, because the husband would not be running as well if he was trying to just hold down the fort to let the wife soar. So you did make a
He
good
be in
point
a
with that,
good
Candace.
stride, a strong stride, confident, looking at her like baby, you can do it. Now
And
hold
I
on,
got
we
the
back here.
kids.
We back here.
Right. The kids slippers then fell off. So so I get that. I get that. I definitely get that. You know what I'm saying? But so I do understand that point as far as that goes. But let me read my guy Mart with the 99 super chat. He says, very simple answer. Having children is a result of having children is a result of having sex. He says it's a very human desire. It's something that requires planning, like marriage, and as well as it should be. Should be. But unfortunately, some of us are out here hooligans and heathens on this Easter Sunday. So, yeah. So I mean, it's just that. It's just I'm a marriage guy. Everybody knows me to be that guy. I always try to promote marriage because I believe the only way we could really move forward is through families, communities. You can't have a communities with a bunch of single people trying to figure out which way to go.
GMT, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Highlight
This is
Sherry's
crazy.
highlight
We're both,
Sherry's.
we're both about to say something, we Candace.
Hold on, what did it say?
He can't
Oh,
be in good he can't be in good stride because she needs momentum. He is allowing her to chase her goals. He started with her and now they have agreed to tag team. The thing, have you ever ran track before? Let's start there. Have you ever ran track before?
I am a 4x1 state champion and a 4x1 and a 4x4.
Good.
Many,
So
many years ago.
we're gonna agree on this. We're gonna agree
He
on
said
this.
many years.
Do all legs start at the same time?
No.
This video is obviously captured from them starting from a point because they could have cut it and got them both as they were just running. But this has them both starting from one point and starting together, and she's gaining a gap. Like there's a big gap going, and he's slowing down, looking tired. But he's not slowing down because he gave her anything. He still has the weight. He still
Matter of
has the
fact, he
weight.
stops. He stops. If you
He's
watch the video, he stops.
with the weight. So she's running for nothing because she has nothing in her hands. He has all of the prize. He has what needs to get to the finish line.
Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep.
I ain't even look. You see, this is why I wanted to do this because I love the different perspectives on this. Mont, you want to come in because I would love to hear Mont's perspective on this as well. Let me
That's what
send Mont. Let me send
This
Mont
is
a message here.
and what woman wants a man to tag team with? What woman wants a man to, because tag teaming to me means somebody's not leading. And from what I heard from having conversations with women, they all say I want a man that can lead. And tag teaming doesn't seem like it seems like leadership in any way, shape, or form to me. And why can't we both progress through our careers? I don't understand why it can't happen. I've seen it in every other race of people. They seem to be able to do it, but us.
Mel, my love, I love you, but I think you're looking through rose-colored glasses.
What's Mel talking? Mel, I also sent you the
Talking
link
about, I
too.
think it's beautiful that you because you're seeing something that isn't there. You're choosing not to pay attention to everything. Oh, I think that's Kid say she backstage.
Oh, she is. There she go.
The International Quiet Storm. What is up, my guy?
Oh my, yo, Quiet Storm. What up? He said this video is a joke.
Straight like that.
This is why I wanted to talk about it because I wanted so many different opinions on what you see when you see this, right? And I love how Candace is breaking this topic down from her standpoint because she's literally looking at the man, how he stopped, how he's holding the children, the distance between them. Do me a favor, Mont. Can you put in the chat your IG? For some reason, I have the hardest time.
I got something else.
Not
I got
Mont.
something else.
Yeah.
I got something else. Can I say it?
Give me chapter 6. Give me chapter 6.
No, listen. Now, number one, pay attention to the woman and remember the difference in the physical limitations that we both have. That woman taking the lead or going for her goals or whatever while leaving that man back is not going to get as far as he would if she had the children and she was following behind him and he made it further. She's only going to make it to a certain extent because she's going to tire out. Because physically, and I'm talking about the running, physically, we weren't created to last or carry to last as long or carry as much than a man equal to our size and our ability. They're still going to be strong. Notice she never looked back. Thank you, Quiet Storm. Never
Nope.
didn't look back to see if he was okay, if the kids were okay. If the kids were
She didn't
okay.
give two flying, you know what's. But since
Yeah, I never
1964, this is what some black women have been doing.
Kids say put her backstage. GMT. Kids say put her back. Oh, you talking.
Kid,
Is he
I
on
love you,
mute?
kid. I don't know what. I think he's trying to hit somebody up.
Okay.
I'm saying put
So
me backstage because I am. Where is the other topic? This is craziness on these.
All right, it's the Candace and
Chris,
Professor show.
stay up. Why you got to go backstage?
Because
You ain't got to go backstage. Talk.
Anyway, hey, Candace, can I get a
Yeah.
vote of confidence so I can be on season 3 of Meet to Marry? I've been trying to
I
get
got
votes. I need y'all to vote for Professor to be on Meet to Marry season 3. I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, I was muted. There we go.
But you know,
we know you was muted.
But you know,
I didn't know. I was
you know, we don't promote the bunnies of snow on there right now. So what do you think?
yeah, I know. That's the unfortunate part. But I guess I can make. I guess I can compromise.
Hold up. I might have a white guy that wants to be on the show.
Whoa! I'm not gay.
Come, let's do it.
I'm not saying for
Be
you.
nice for the first time.
What game is that?
Okay, so hold on. Wait, GMT. I have a rule though. Okay, because if you do that, because they love me. I'm just saying.
We're about to get Kid and Professor on season 3.
Here's the thing, though.
We're gonna both get white people.
And I know this is gonna sound a tad bit crazy, but look, I like my white men white. I don't want a wigger because then I could just date one of
That's how I like mine.
I like mine.
Oh my god!
I like pickleball and like.
Nah, this one's a whole wigger.
You know,
yeah, if you're gonna be white, you need to be white.
I don't need John B. White. I love him, but I don't need that. I need one that understands tax brackets and verifications. Like
you need yourself a brother. You need yourself a strong black man.
Get you a Jack Harlow.
I need somebody that's gonna hike, bike, and understand what it means to go to the theater. Like if we're gonna do that, like I need Neo Sapien to be made.
Are you getting tickets? Are you gonna get tickets next to mine? You getting tickets next to mine?
Look.
Oh, and the white people can sit beside each other.
I live for a good show. Stop playing.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yo, hold on.
I love the Brenda Hitman Hart glasses on, man. I like those.
Go ahead, Mon. Let's let Mon talk.
What's up, yo?
You done got him up here.
My guy. Yeah. What's your thoughts on the video?
I didn't really get a chance to watch I hear y'all talking about the video from the beginning, so I don't really know what the general sentiment is.
That's it.
So but hold up, our girl, her, Keisha. You know Keisha from Yancey's channel.
Keisha from Yancey. Which who's Keisha?
When the first day me and you was on Yancey panel, the first time I was on it and I met you that day, there was a woman named Keisha on the panel with us. It was me, you, Blockchain. And then, as a matter of fact, when we was in Dallas, she was in Dallas too. She was super tall.
Okay, so
she had a short dress on.
I know you're talking about the lighter one, not the darker one, the lighter one. They both was two tall women. Okay,
right. So she posted a comment on this video right here just because of what she got from it. She said, "Listen," she said, "I ain't talking about them, but give dad the custody, sis." She says, "So you can soar and he can have a chance to raise the kids. Switch back and forth. Yes. So I'll go soar." That's what Keisha wrote.
Okay.
Okay. So that was my point, because that point bothered my soul. And I was like, you know what? Do they really want husbands? You know what I'm saying? To actually put a comment like that. It's crazy.
But let the dad take care of them for a change, like they're a problem, and you're punishing him. Wow.
So I think in terms of let's say you have a situation where the parents are not together. I personally do think the dad should have them. And just in general, I do. I don't. I know, Candace, you may be great at taking care of kids and raising good, upstanding citizens, but most cases, I think most women are not that good at it. I think that they nurture too much and try to take nurturing out into the world and see what happens to you versus taking discipline. Like it's not going to help
I
you in life, and it's
definitely
not going to help us have a it's not going to help us have good communities. Like for me, for use me as an example. Like I believe in family, and I believe in selflessness, right? So I don't have kids for me. Like it's not for me. I think that we all have a duty to, kind of like keep the world going. So and a lot of people don't believe in that. They just believe in self. But I believe in community. I believe in the people outside of ourselves. Um so yeah, it's not just all about us. I don't know. But I think women don't I think the dad is needed more than the woman, especially after the age of like 6. I just think it's more important that you got that father. But not women like you. I know some good women who like they do, they teach discipline and they nurture a little bit and they discipline. But and even if you look at the stats, it just fathers do better.
okay,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
question. I have a
And there
question
was a
though.
time, and there was a
Okay,
time when men got the kids, and that changed. But go ahead, Candace.
so I have a question though. If it is the type of woman that is not parenting her child as best as she can, meaning learning better ways to parent so that the child can be a successful adult. If it is not that type of woman that's doing that, because I'm thinking like the caliber of woman, yeah, like okay, we're making the decision to have a child, or we have sex and we get pregnant and we have that child, right? If we're not together, I'm not together with my ex-man, and I'm taking care of these children in a way that I'm mothering them too much, I wouldn't have been responsible with them anyway, with him there as well. You know what I'm saying? Like the man can't be that much of a good person either. Like choosing the woman that would be that way. Does that
Mhm.
make any sense? Like I'm just
Yeah,
not an
yeah,
advocate of that
yeah,
unless the mom is like a crackhead or something. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Or not
I,
taking care of the children well. But some of
yeah,
us will mother too much. But it's about us learning. I don't
yeah.
necessarily think that we should just give the children to the father, share
Well,
custody.
I think women in general, like a lot of women these days in general, don't necessarily. They say they want men to lead, but they don't actually put it in practice. Like they want to stop men from doing a lot of things that that men deem necessary. Like if you was with a woman who had kids, she's not gonna let you discipline her kids most cases, and that may
Oh,
be
right.
necessary for those kids to be disciplined by a man the right way. But she's like, no, you're doing too much, or I don't want you to do that, and that's just her getting in the way of that. So I don't know. I think, and then when a lot of people have kids, most of our community when they have kids, they're doing it, when they're at a premature age, or just a premature state where they're not necessarily
Premature
vetting
state.
people for the long run. Like me, I didn't vet for the long
Absolutely.
run when I had kids. So a lot of times we kind of once we get over that hump, we like, oh, I see it now. I should have kind of took more time and did that. And then a lot of women, in a lot of cases with women, a lot of women never understand how to pick a man, like never, which is why so many dating coaches are out here, because it's common sense, really. Take your time, don't give up your most valuable asset, which is your box, right? And like, just take your time and get to know him, see what he there for. But most of them don't do that.
Mom, can I ask you a
Yeah.
question?
Yeah,
So because I like to talk about both sides.
absolutely.
If we're talking about how bad some of these women are men also having a terrible job at vetting women?
Oh, absolutely. Men and women, we do horrible jobs. Men just you see a pretty face, and I get it. I totally understand. You see a pretty face, a big butt, and it's like you feel this. You just fall in love, for or in lust, whatever it is. We do a poor job too. We're not thinking about the long run most cases.
Right.
But I do think that men learn a lot fast. I think I think that men learn a lot faster than women because I think women's nurturing nature they choose to always see the good in things and maybe the other perspective versus men who's like, oh, I burnt myself. Yeah, nah, we're not doing that again.
Right. So let me ask you this, and I don't want to turn to the Mont Professor show, but let me ask you this last question, and I'll see. Um, what do you think we can do as a society? Because this is generally our people as a society. What's one or two things you think that we can do as a society to get better at vetting men and women?
I think I believe in mentors. You know, I believe in mentors heavily, and a lot of people they don't have any mentors. They don't have anybody that they look up to who is in a position that they want to be in besides their peers. You know, they just thinking about, oh, my peers, look at him over there, look at her over there getting money. That's all I'm worried about. But I think if we kind of like, you know, pour into the youth a little bit more in terms of not just money, but like actually being around them, I think that we can kind of change the culture a little bit because it's all cultural was culturally accepted. Like in the black community, like for men, for example, for men, we still don't play that gay stuff. You know, so that's something that'll never be culturally accepted. But cheating on your woman is accepted. So we're not afraid to admit that. You know, we're not afraid to admit certain other things. I can say this around everybody. You know, it ain't a big deal. So we just gotta change the culture a little bit.
Yeah, and I agree. I definitely agree. I mean, I happen to see some probably sophomores and juniors in high school. You know, I was in the area, and they basically took over a apartment complex, and now I hear shorts on, twerking in the car, outside the car. It looked like Freak Meat, but for 15 and 60-year-olds.
Wow.
And so the whole time I'm thinking, people calling the cops on them, which they should have. The whole time I'm thinking, where did they learn this culture from? And where are their? I know their parents are at work. It's like 4:00 in the afternoon. But like, where are they learning this culture? Where are they getting this? Where are they getting this from? Because I know when I was that age, we had some that did that, but the majority of us, it was 70 of them, weren't doing that. And is it the music that they're listening to, the Sexy Reds and the Lottos and the Megan Thee Stallions, or is it our parents, the parents of these children that said, I'm not going to treat my kids the same way my parents treated me, and they're giving them a lot more leadway, and they'll have no idea what these kids are. So, you know, when we talk about changing the culture, one, how can we do that? Two, these kids, especially these YNs, are not listening to a lot of people, even close to their age. So how do we impact the youth so that they're not a lost generation?
Fathers, I think is the biggest thing.
And you can have people that are well rounded as far as raised in good families, not raised to twerk, educated, whatever the case may be, and still make horrible decisions choosing people. Still make horrible decisions vetting people. So to answer that question for me, it would be vet and make those decisions outside of your emotions. Compartmentalize that. Know that your emotions have something to do with it, but don't make your decisions based on that.
Yeah, I think if we have fathers, like for example, like when you see all the YNs and stuff, it ain't no way YNs got good dads. It ain't no way. Like my son is 7, but when he's 17, it's no possible way his time won't be accounted for every single minute of the day. I'm gonna know exactly where he at. Oh, we at football practice. Oh, we here. Oh, we doing this. Like his time will always. My son is never going to be outside at 11 o'clock at night, somewhere where I don't know where he at, or just terrorizing somebody. It's just not even an option.
Think about the psyche behind that, though, right? What would cause a parent to allow their children to stay out at the age of 16 at 11, 12 o'clock at night? Like, what, I can't fathom that. So, like, help me understand the mindset if y'all do. I understand a lot of it is how the parents were raised, but those are your babies. So, I don't know. If y'all know something I know, please tell me.
These parents are 36 years old. They're still in the nightclub trying to find a dude. They're still trying to bring. They're still dating Pookie and Ray Ray. They're still bringing. They're still trying to have an OnlyFans. They're still trying to have a life. So instead of raising their children, go ahead.
The results of that is evident. So let's talk about a set of parents that are just working. They're working parents, and they're like, yeah, whatever. Just you say, be back by 9. But mom, I want to be back by 12. Okay, well, be back by 12. They either one are overwhelmed and don't care, or two, They want to be liked by their children. They do not understand what their responsibility is, and they want to be liked by their children. So they're allowing them to do things, and they are living in the now as opposed to preparing them for the future and protecting them from what they could do now that will put their future in jeopardy. So yeah, they want to be their friend.
Mm. When you think about it, it starts even earlier than that because a lot of people in the hood and in the inner cities, they feel like they don't have other options. So like kids might walk to school, and like when I think about my kids walking to school, I don't even like my kids going outside, like which is maybe it's a problem that I gotta kind of like work on. But like especially like when I lived in the hood, like we was not outside at all. Like all the other kids was outside. My kids was in the house, you know. And like even right now, it's like, oh, you gonna go on the step, stay where I can see you. But people, big kids be walking to school, all that type of stuff. So it kind of starts early, like them kind of having their kids start being independent. And I don't think they view the hood environment like we view the hood environment and dangers of it, because maybe they really like are indoctrinated by that space. And that's just where they grew up at. So they don't view it the dangers of it. Like when I look at the being in the hood, it's dangerous to me, but they don't see it that way.
Yeah.
No, you're right. And like I
What?
said, they'll start young. I mean, you look at the kids that were singing that Sexy Red song, and like the preschool age kids, and they would dress them like Barbie dolls these days, put makeup on them and short skirts, and wonder what they're gonna be like when they're 16. You're doing it at 6, 10 years from now, what do you think they're gonna be doing? And then wonder why they're pregnant at 17. You know, these are the situations that happen. Go ahead. I'm sorry, GMT.
I'm just thinking to myself, right, as I'm listening to y'all, you know, I'm trying to understand. Okay, so Mark, you made a point about not allowing your kids outside. So I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, well, where's the balance, right? Because there is a sense of independence we have to give our children because we want them to obviously flourish. So there's, I believe, a certain age that matters, and then a certain level of keeping your kid on a leash. So what's the balance, kid? How'd you raise your son with a balance? Kids like, what balance? What are we talking about?
Kid feeling real nice right now.
First things first, mind the business that pays you, Professor.
You okay?
That is not
Hey, ain't nothing that's paying me.
Second of all, my son
Like a laughing.
he's
Oh
finally
yeah,
learning. He's
them
finally learning
edibles, yo.
as he is. No, this ain't no edibles, but that's a whole nother conversation. 420 to all of my people who celebrate that. You know, the Lord said, "Toke it, so you be it," and so we are doing that today. So, again, with Kinston, I don't know. Finding the balance was a lot harder with him because I feel like growing up as an 80s baby in New York, we were like adults at like 9. You know, we were taking public transportation. We were doing the laundry. We were going to get, you know, groceries. We were doing things that other people, you know, other kids weren't doing. You know, like the latchkey kid whole, you know, you have keys to your apartment. Like it was a different like type of energy. And so wanting him to just be able to, you know, be a child, I think a lot of that backfired in some ways because a lot of these kids, including mine to some degree, he's like, again, because he has a job now, he's learning, you know, what hard work and labor looks like because, you know, he, as a matter of fact, he is at work as we speak, slinging
Okay,
these,
so 23.
look, slinging these pizzas for the good Easter folks that needed, you know, some pepperoni in their life. But he has the nerve to holler about, oh my God, another shift from 4 to 10. I'm
5
sorry.
hours.
From 4
6
to 10.
hours.
And let me tell you about how he they just had me working like and just every day like welcome to almost adulthood because my son is 17. So, you know, wanting him to just be able to be a kid and like focus on studying, and just having, you know, proper manners and just being a good person. I think a lot of us, you know, kind of the balance got skipped in the part where we were made to be like little adults and miniature slaves. It was like, call me from the other room to go bring you the remote that's like 2 feet from you, right? You know, and now we were like, nah, we're not doing that to our kids because that's just some, like, we couldn't stand that, so we're not going to do that. But I think we missed the lesson that was supposed to be taught, but was never given to us as a lesson more than just we're these mini kid laborers and we're just doing all these things. And so now we see it where it was like, you know what? And the funny thing about it is that other kids, even though I'm partly their size, they really don't, you know, play.
Mel is stupid.
You know, they don't really play with me. But my son, it's like he tries to play in my face like all 2025, and I'd be like, bro, you see what it looks like for you right now. You might want to pretend that, you know, you're about to be 18 next year, and then I can look at you real funny and be like, well, did you listen to any of the years that I was telling you to do all of these things that we should be doing so that you could be, you know, productive member in society? I think it's definitely different when you're a mom trying to raise a young man, because, you know, no level of what you all consider, you know, alpha women or masculinity will ever be able to substitute for what being a man is and does, and how it translates to an up and coming young man. So for me, it was always about making sure that he had proper positive men in his life, men that he could, you know, relate to, communicate with, you know, have, you know, that level where mom couldn't foot the bill, even though mom is dope as hell, you know. But you know, when you're a kid and it's your mom, like everyone else is like, oh, your mom's awesome, but it's your mom. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, she's cool, but you know, so that's what it really was for me in this case. Like I said, he's slinging them pies right now and mad about it.
Because I know the worst words my mom could have ever said to me was, "Wait till your daddy get home." Then I knew it was on. So you're right, kid. I mean, you know, when my mom said that, I know I was in trouble. Right.
Word.
So
at work. Go
let
get
me
that.
ask you. Let me ask y'all another question. Do y'all feel like it's safer when we were growing up in these streets as opposed to it is now? So that brings a sense of fear for allowing your kids to go out and explore
yeah,
the world at a younger age.
yeah. Coming from
You think
12,
so?
coming from former 12, former 9, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm from the hood. I grew up in the hood. I worked in the hood. My kids ain't never seen a real hood. And I'll never take them to them. Now, before I used to be able to go outside, play throw up tackle, go to the school about 4 or 5 blocks down, go play basketball. As long as when them lights came on, we was back in the front of our yard, or we heard that whistle and it was pop, 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 pop. But absolutely, that has everything to do with it.
I don't
Growing
know.
up, growing up in the city, I'm gonna tell you something. There's nothing worse than when they say you got to be home when the street light comes on, but it's still daylight as fuck outside, and it's like we supposed to be out here cracking the smelling and under the sunshine. Why do I have to be in the house and it's
Yeah,
still day?
nah.
Like, yeah, so I understand. It's a
I
real.
don't know. Mark, what was you gonna say?
Yeah.
That's something that I would have to process when I think about it. Like the things that I was around growing up, they're not detrimental, but also maybe like it might be something that I want to avoid with my kids, but maybe that might be an issue. Cause like I used to fight all the time, like for no reason. And I'm just thinking about my kids, and I'm like, is that something they need? Is it something they don't need? And I think they do a little bit, but I guess I can't bring myself to kind of like, I don't know. I got to think about that. But it's a key part of our development is just kind of like dealing with that adversity of like you just run into some kids you don't know and some nonsense happen.
See, I think the world as a whole isn't worse. I think we have these devices in our hand that can film everything and take pictures of everything that make things worse. What I think is worse is like Mom was saying, you could get in a fight as a kid. I'll be
over with.
afraid for my kid to get into a fight because these kids shoot,
Yes.
right? That like I'm not afraid of the P word down the street. I'm not afraid of some, this traffic. I'm not afraid of that. I'm afraid of them getting into a fight with a local kid and they pulling out a blicky and calling it a day. That's what I'm most afraid of.
And that's where it goes.
Yeah, I'm done.
That's where it goes back to what GMT was asking earlier when he asked kids, like, what do we do to make sure our children don't, like, what are we doing? Me, I have 5 boys. So for me, I start raising my children at 6 months. I don't look at when I think about being pregnant or giving birth and bringing children into this world, it is not for me. It is for my legacy. So I can't raise them based on my emotions and what I want to feel right now. I have to raise them based on the vision that either God has given me or God has given my husband or their father. So start raising them when they're young and actually teaching them things. I grew up in a household where it was educated and we were taught about business. We were taught about being women, being wives, but making sure that we vetted husbands that were worthy of us being wives. So like you just have to start actually teaching them to be adults young, start teaching them things. At 6 months old, start teaching them things.
If you would have asked me, right? Because I'm listening to everything all of y'all are saying, but I have to think about when I was growing up myself. There was parts of like where I'm from in Queens where we could not go. Like if I wasn't from a certain project, there was no walking down those streets at all. You know what I'm saying? If you even got to be affiliated with a gang. It's just the fact that I don't know you, you got robbed. I remember being in high school and going to go see one of the girls. She lived in. I always dealt with a project chick. I don't know why, but I remember. I remember.
That's that 3-6. That's that Project Pat.
You don't know why. Pat. I'm sorry, GMT. I'm sorry. You don't know why you've always done a project chick.
Well, I always
Give me a project chick.
I was thinking that I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to give myself away.
I'm just here. You know, I chime in and out from time to time. You know, it's 4:20, so I'm here, but I'm here. And I was like, wait, did he say he has no idea why? I
don't know why. It was just always this.
I don't believe in lying on Sundays. Most days, any day, but especially on Sundays.
Well, you tell me, why do you think it was why I always found myself in somebody's project?
What kind of family show are we being this Sunday on this Easter? I just need to know before I
the family
it's
show.
Easter. That should give it away. It's Easter. No, kid. No, ma'am.
He asked me a question, and I was just obliging with an answer to that question. So I just wanted to make sure before I answer, because we are on the day of Easter. It was Palm Sunday last, Good Friday. I'm just trying to make sure I am completely on one accord.
To thy own self be true.
Wall Street, it is not safe outside. You must not be in Miami.
So, all right, check it. So, like I said, I was always in somebody's project growing up.
He's so dumb.
And the fact of the matter is, I remember about 3 different projects I went to where I almost had to fight. That was probably that's what made me stop dealing with project chicks, because it was like, but it's not like that no more. Like, you could literally walk down almost any street and you good in New York, in Brooklyn. You could walk down Bed-Stuy and not have to worry about your life anymore. So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, is it more blickies on the street? Yeah, I definitely think so, right? But I do feel as if it's safer because I think a lot of kids are messing with each other when they know each other now, as opposed to, I don't know you, I'm not even worried about you. Now, if I don't know, but that's my perception of it.
Bed-Stuy is okay now because Becky with the rescue dog moved in. That's why Bed-Stuy is fine. Once Becky with the rescue dog moves in, the neighborhood is
Wow.
going to crap.
Yo, hey, thank you for the $5 super chat, man.
What's up,
Happy
Hank?
Sunday, happy Easter, my God.
Who them Bears gonna select, Hank? Who the Bears gonna mess up getting this time?
He said in our day where no surveillance, law enforcement hella corrupt. Yeah, it was crazy, y'all. Y'all know how it was when we was growing up. It was wild. It was wild. Like they ain't had no, like he said, no surveillance. No one had phones, and like Professor said, it only seems as if it's bad because it's being recorded now. But it was horrible, yo.
It probably
It
was worse.
horrible.
It might have been
I
worse.
want to say, yeah, it was worse. I agree.
Yeah, because no,
I
like
agree.
if your son was just hanging out with the wrong group, like he could have got cops could have pulled up on him, beat him up, took him to another part of the city, dropped him off. That used to happen all the time. Just because he around, just because he on the corner.
Right. It was bad, y'all. It was bad. You know what I'm saying? I literally just remember getting into fights for nothing. It'll just be like, yo, I gotta defend myself now because I want to clap some cheeks. Come on. now.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, to get that Project Poon Nene.
Wait a minute.
You know what I'm saying?
We won't pay for it, but we'll fight for it, and that's a real energy. That's kind of crazy.
He not fighting for it. He just fighting because he happened to, he
wanted
to get it, so he was fighting for
it. What was so crazy though, Mont? I knew I was gonna fight though, so it was like it was almost like, yo, all right, this chick is bad. I know where she live. She live in Redfern Projects on the corner of Far Rockaway, right when you about to hit that border.
Exactly what you're talking about, crazy person.
I
am.
So I'm like, all right, if I know if I go to Redfern and I don't know nobody over there, it's going down. Like it's going down. I'm going.
You wasn't
the moment I walk past that corner,
you walking into their territory. You coming in unannounced. Like don't nobody know who
you take it. Yeah. You taking their girl. That's how they look at it. Like that's my girl.
Like right, she belonged to like at least 3 niggas over here. Who are you? Like you are control. Like, what are you doing right now?
Yeah, he said Dion might be listening.
Dion is listening.
No, she went and took a nap. So
that's funny.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's funny.
Good thing this is recorded.
Oh man.
You make a good point. I was just thinking about that the other day of how like, kind of like to be civilized just to move further from our actual nature. The further we move away from our nature, the more civilized we become. But I was just thinking about that the other day of how like you said a point of like, y'all, the guys there were looking at like, yo, this is our girl. Why you coming over here? And stuff like that, and just being territorial and things like that over nothing is like probably just human nature and just being an animal or whatever. We just probably it's just a part of like our nature to be territorial. But you really see that in the hood because the hood, a lot of people don't have parents, no structure, so we're closer to our nature. I was the other day and I was just thinking this in my head, and I was just playing in my head though. I was driving through this parking lot around my house, and I was looking at this white guy who parked there, and he was just looking at ducks or something, and I was like, what you doing over here? You know where you at? Like I should come up, but I was saying it in my head. I was just joking. Like, what you doing looking at ducks out here? Like who you think you is? But I was just saying it in my head. I was thinking to myself like, damn, like that niggas in the hood really think that. Like yo, what are you doing here?
Right.
That's crazy.
It ain't sweet out here.
Oh, it's crazy, son. For no reason. Territorial. It's like, come on, son, you're not treating her right. I'm not gonna treat her right. So let's keep it real together. You know what I'm saying? We might as well have, all right, man. Let's
that might guys is why you always had project chicks. That exact sentence right there.
Damn. That's it? That's why I always have project chicks? Crazy.
Hey, I like chicks from the Poker Bean Project.
He said, let's do her well together.
I like Pembroke Pines. I like Pembroke Pines.
Yeah. Well, listen.
To the equivalent of strippers, everybody loves them, but nobody wants to take them home. It's just crazy. Like I'll go to your like that's.
No, I don't know about that, kid. Project chicks, some of them be some real solid chicks. We're not talking. Okay, there's the ghetto project ones. Y'all remember those? I know, Professor, and I know Martin. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. There's those ghetto ones
Yeah.
that like those are the ones that raise the sexy reds of the world. But then there's those other project chicks that always wanted to be different than their mothers. So they worked hard. You saw that they wasn't going to be in the projects when they got older, but they were just freaky, yo. So
you know how you recognize them?
They're not outside.
They have a small
They
butterfly
was never
tattoo.
outside. They always had a butterfly
Oh,
tattoo.
what?
They have a small butterfly tattoo. They don't got a big one. They got a small one somewhere.
It's a little tiny one somewhere on the swole of their back or like on their hip. Yeah.
On the back of their ear?
Oh, see?
Oh.
Give me a hood ratchet.
Because my mom was from Newark, New Jersey, so she was hood.
Yeah, so you was the one that tried to come out of that. You was like, yo, listen, I ain't gonna be like
that. Because everybody said I was gonna be just like my mom, just like my mom was educated, but she was from the hood in Jersey. I was gonna be just like my mom, cussing, fighting, gambling, in jail somewhere, whatever. So yeah, I wanted to be the opposite of that. And I went to the military, joined the police department. I got 5 well-adjusted kids. So yeah.
Hey, in the words of the great philosopher LeVar Ball, the professor's undefeated, never lost. Told you. The butterfly tattoos get away every time.
Kenny, I got a lot of tattoos. Not a moth, not a butterfly. You go to hell. Okay.
The ones, the other ones though, the hood ones, they had different tattoos. You know what I'm saying? They usually had
from
some
brown. Hold on one second.
Usually,
from brown subs or from the suburbs?
The hood chicks, not the subs. Oh, Scary? Oh, what's Scary talking about?
Suburbs?
She said I got 3 butterflies on my ankle.
So she's from the suburbs. She can't be from where I'm from.
Hey, a butterfly tattoo is a butterfly
tattoos.
For real? Why you say that, Mark?
You can tell a lot about a woman by tattoos.
Oh yeah.
What you
primarily, like for example, I know at least in my generation, like if I see your tattoos, based on the quality of those tattoos, I can tell what type of childhood you had. Like if I see that some of them are unfinished and like you got some chest tattoos and they just look like whoever couldn't really draw that good, I know who you are. I know what you've been through. You know, I know when you had your whole phase, and I know how long it lasted. Yeah, I know all of that. You was letting them boys play on your skin when they was, trying to figure out how to tattoo. Yeah.
Well, Ma, I got a question for you. I got a question for you, Ma. I got 3 tattoos for you.
What kind of women do you be?
I got the foot tattoo. And then I got the 2 paws on the chest tattoo.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And then I got the tiger on the thigh tattoo. What that mean?
Oh, you said which one on the thigh?
Yo, Candace, you don't got the paws, do you?
The tiger on the thigh.
You talking about on me?
Yeah.
No, I had 1 paw on my left thigh, and it had my first fiance's, my high school boyfriend. It had his initials, but when I got married, I got a whole leg tattoo. So it's covered, and I have a whole like a leg tattoo that goes up my back.
I could tell you which from the hood by saying that.
Flowers and butterflies.
I was about to say that. You could always tell a woman that's from the hood because she got a man's initials on tattoo somewhere on.
But wait, look, I'm not hood anymore, and I have Jerome's last name on my ring finger.
There you go. There you go.
I'm just saying they get a rose tattoo on their thigh. They get a leopard or a tiger on their thigh, and they get tiger paws on their titties, and then they get a tattoo on their foot.
You got a lot of dances with the tiger paws too.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so a beauty sleeve and a map of Africa. Go.
A what?
Oh yeah.
She's a creative.
A beauty
if the tattoos are done nicely, that says a little bit about her too. She wasn't the bottom of the barrel hoe. She was a little higher.
Game in that 304.
If she looked like she spent some money for a tattoo, well, she looked like at least she made sure the artist she was the tattoo artist she was giving box to was decent. You know,
What?
she a little bit. A
Wow.
lot of them girls they was fucking for them tattoos. Yeah.
Wow.
The
So,
tattoos are expensive.
well, wait. So let me clarify.
Video.
I have never given my tattoo artist box. Shout out to you, Marcus, because you do amazing work and you got me lit in the city. And my
Well,
map
she
of
said you do amazing work.
is
Wink,
yeah,
wink.
yeah, but he ain't get the work, but his work is amazing. So, again, like you're wild, and you know, every time I join this panel, I understand why I get a little further from heaven, and it's okay. You know, it's all right. You know, because everybody's not going to make it, right? It's like a race, right? And you know, I be running, and then sometimes, and then I trip up, and I come on this panel, and then I be like, you know what? It's just somehow I'm just every time I come on here, it's just I just get further and further from the glory and the grace, and it's okay, you know, because you know it's about the here and now. You know, that's what I can control. I can't control the later parts. But when I don't make it, just understand that I am putting you all's names on the line so that they understand where it came from, so that they can reevaluate your records and make sure that you all follow suit. Just wanted to put that out there. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Hey. Fellas, this question is for y'all. Would you, being that we talking about tattoos and women with tattoos and all that, if it's not your wife, if it's your girlfriend, would you want her to get your name tatted on her?
Depends on my maturity level. Like right now, I'm a little bit more mature, so I wouldn't want a woman to make that commitment to me. But if I was, you know, a little bit younger, I used to kind of thrive off stuff like that. Oh, she got my name tatted. All right, I got one. All right, who else can I get to get my name tatted? Type of a little bit more mature now. I don't want to I don't want nobody to invest that into me that heavily. So
yeah, but before you wanted your name all over the city.
Hell yeah. Like even with girls I might have not saw a future with. Get it?
It's just I belong to mine.
Yeah, I would have.
What about you, Professor?
No, not at all. I was never. I'm not a big tattoo guy. You know, I don't like women with tattoos. So I wouldn't want a tattoo on any woman I dated. However, I did have a brand, so I branded these bitches. So they got. If you see a woman with a kilo in the RM on that motherfucker, that's why.
And Professor as to why he's probably not going to make it in. Like he just told me that I mean, you know, every week
it's gonna be a small RM on the left side of where their thigh meets their pubic area. It's gonna be a little small RM about that big. So
Professor gives me wrinkles.
Hey.
Oh man, yo.
Like Rick James.
Like,
that's what you say. I'm Rick James.
Yo, Wall Street, what up, man? Yo, I don't know, man. I was never into that. Even when I was younger, I was never into like a woman getting, because I always felt like if a woman did that, she's crazy. Not saying nothing about you, Candace, but I always felt like.
Well, at least it wasn't me this time.
I'm crazy twice.
Well, say shout out to Candace. At least it wasn't me this time. I'm okay with that. Like, thank you.
Well, think about it, because when you break up with her, you got a problem. Like, yo, she's not. If you bold enough to get my name tatted on you, best believe the moment I don't want you no more, I know you coming for me, and I don't want those type of problems. I never wanted those type of problems. So
GMT.
Those are women who are short-sighted and they don't know that they can get tattoo cover-ups, or now there's tattoo removal.
No, GMT.
Ain't nobody trying to do all that.
That's regular crazy. That's like most girls are crazy a little bit, right? That's regular crazy. No, real crazy is if you see a girl with a tattoo on her face. It don't matter where it is. She's absolutely crazy. If you see a girl with a tattoo anywhere on her face, she crazy. I mean, it might be a fun time, but she crazy.
Amber Rose.
Amber Rose.
Wait, Lala, you got a tattoo on your face?
Krishan Rock, right? Krishan something.
Krishan
Whatever her
Rock.
name is.
What's the other one? The singer Summer Walker. Oh my God, crazy.
Shout
It
out
was
to
this girl.
Oh,
It was this girl in the
Summer
hood
Walker got a tattoo
when
on
I
her
worked
face.
in
Oh,
when I worked in the city of Miami. She had a big old Superman symbol right here in pink and brown on her face, big as they right here. And when I tell you, she used to try and run up on all the police every time she got in something. She did not care. Did not care.
okay. So would you date a man with his ex's name on his neck or a pair of her lips on his neck?
Absolutely, because he can get it
You wouldn't.
removed. But why would I even have it removed? That's a part of his life. That's a part of what he's been through. That's his art. That's his past. It ain't gonna mean nothing to me. I'm not insecure in that way.
So he got Keisha on his neck, but your name Candace. You okay with that?
No.
Yo, shout out to Hick. Hick says Professor out here pulling Yellowstone braids. Wow, on these heifers. Yo, stupid. Oh
Better
man,
believe it.
Brandon, boy. Brandon.
Um,
I mean, but you know, like I said, for me, it's just always been like a thing. Like if you're willing to get tattoos, all that. Like I remember there was this one chick and she didn't even get a tattoo. And I don't like crazy women. I don't like them. And this one chick, I don't know, man. And yo, I hope my wife is not listening. Wife, are you there? All right, listen, look, I think she's not.
Yeah, please
I
listen
think
to the
I'm
replay.
clear. No, she don't listen to the replays, thank God. So
I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna send a clip to her cell phone.
just
So what's
ask.
the timestamp on this one?
don't do that. Yo, chill.
Somebody send the
I'm trying-
timestamp.
Damn. You know what I'm saying? Y'all crazy. Listen.
Are you listening? I can.
This one chick, and it wasn't even tattoo worthy. We had some adult time a few times. And then I tried to end it. And this chick literally sent me, she went shopping and bought a whole box of gifts for me, right? Like it was like clothes. She had, you name it, she had balloons with our name on it. She sent the box and put it by my front door with all of this stuff on it. I opened the box, and this is when I was a bum, right? This is like I was living with my mom. So when I got the box, my mom and I opened up the box, and she was like, "Yo, Mingo, what did you do to this girl?" And it's just crazy stuff. So I think to myself, if a woman was crazy enough to get my name on her, imagine what she would do when I don't want her no more. I don't know. Yo, Matt, what up? Imagine what she would do when I don't want her no more.
She's gonna turn into
Yeah,
she'll
that's
turn
your
into Taylor
bad. That's
Swift.
your bad. You and your bad process
But
trying to get
GMT,
boxed
a
from
lot of
anything and not. Yeah, that's
a lot of
crazy.
the girls that we deal with and that we being adult with, we won't know that they would get our name tatted until after we done been adult with them. You know what I'm saying? After we done did something with them anyway. Like I done had girls that I didn't talk about tattoos with, but they was crazy. Like after we didn't, just like you showed up to my job with your mom.
Okay, so can I wait? I have to
damn.
interject. I'm sorry, because when I hear bullshit blown in the wind, I have to say because it's Easter Sunday and we just can't have that, right? So it's your fault, okay, that people are getting your names and stuff tattooed on them. And here is why. You are out here giving level 9, 10 quality to women you see no future with. You're supposed to give them a 6, 7.2 at best, because it's like they can take it or leave it. But you are out here giving, like Anita Baker said, you're giving the best that you got to women that you don't want to get the best from. And then when they go get tatted, now they're crazy. No, you were crazy for giving them crazy dingaling that you didn't want to commit to them with. So now you might want to think about how you out here slinging your danglings. And then y'all was, that too.
Kid, it's not that simple.
Tearing it up.
It's not that simple, kid. It's a very complicated
I said
thing.
what I said.
Well, this is the thing, right? I can't.
Yes,
as a
you
young
can.
man,
But you can.
we can't risk that. Like we can't risk that.
But you can.
Yeah,
But
y'all gonna get talked about. That embarrassment is gonna be heck.
No, but here's the thing. You give good enough that she may want you back, but not so good that she's going loopy in the fucking head. Like, you know what? He was a good time. That was something I would spend the block on, but not somebody I'm now daytime flashlighting you at the fucking club because you didn't call me back after my 22 text messages. Y'all are not listening because I'm short. If I was taller, y'all would listen to me like I always fucking say. No one ever wants to listen to me.
Stop.
But I'm telling you,
F-bomb.
Kid.
I know it's a family show. Trust the, kid love the kids. Like I said, y'all are out here giving forever ding-a-ling to temporary women, and then y'all are calling them crazy. No, y'all were crazy for giving forever ding-a-ling to temporary women. Take responsibility for how you sling it around. Give her a 6, 7.2, maybe a 7.5 if you think that you might want to keep her around for maybe a year longer. But stop playing around in people's faces, and then when they come telling you what it is, now you're looking at them like they crazy. No, you are crazy.
So, kid, you telling us, for the girls we don't want, let me make sure I hear if I'm hearing you right. You don't hit the bottom and don't make it go, ooh. You don't do that, right? You just give it just a little bit,
All right,
just to make it be
okay. We talking about too much of this. How much longer do we have on the show?
Right, because
we're about to wrap this now.
You gotta talk about hitting the bottom. If you gotta go, you gotta go.
Look, the Lord said, "Toke it and give it to thee."
Jerome's sitting there looking at kid. It's like
anniversary.
Jerome trying to get that bottom, y'all. Y'all tripping.
I'm trying to tell you.
Exactly. Put what Skinny said up there. Put what Skinny said up there. Like, put his comment right there. You see that? You gotta. Thank you, okay? Because I don't need that in my life. You understand what I'm saying?
Listen.
I like for people to want to go home when they are supposed to go home, because I am going to send them home. But if you're outside in the bushes like Ye was, now we got a problem. So y'all need to stop giving bush-worthy ding-a-ling.
The kid. It's that good ding-a-ling that got you the music that you listen to. You wouldn't have nothing from Mary J. Blige, Keisha Cole, or Adele.
First things first, Mary J gave us the best music of her life when she was coked out and whipped Diddy. Stop playing in my face like we don't know where the good music came from with Mary.
Baby oil.
And Sugar Booger or Sugar, whatever you call it, and she had Diddy in there on the 1s and 2s. Why are we playing in my face?
Well, Kid, I'm gonna leave Kid out of this one. I'm gonna ask you, Kid, because I don't want I like Jerome. Jerome is my guy.
Right, good people.
Kid. Have you ever went crazy over a dude?
Yep.
No. Actually, no. I can think
a lot. She thought about it.
Here's the reason why. Because my thing is this. Going crazy over them just gives you all stories to talk about. Oh, she was out here doing this and doing that. And the one thing you won't do is have me out here looking foolish in the streets. I don't give a fuck. Y'all could have hit the bottom and I could have loved it. And I'm going to choke on it and on the inside. And I'm going to tell my homegirls, be like, yo, I want to stab this nigga like real bad. But I'm not going to do that because I'm telling you about it. So now you're going to talk me like, no, I'm not doing that. And it could really happen. But I would never do that because I'm my level of pride and not letting you all have me out here looking crazy is higher than any parts of ding-a-ling parts that y'all can hit.
So, Kid, that's the thing right there. We need social proof.
Okay.
We need social proof, right? We need like, especially for like these days, like the group. I remember when I was younger, like the group chat, like I had to like show my homies, like, look at her, look at these texts. Look at this block number. Look at I blocked her here. She found another number. I blocked this one. She's texting that right here. I need the social proof to show my homies, like, yeah, like, look, this is what I'm doing out here.
Exactly, and I'm not doing that, but I can show you proof. And GMT, please, you've seen the proof. Like, please, let's not play and act like we don't know. I can show you the proof where I had to tell somebody, like, look, you messed up. Now you're trying to come back, and I already told you the one time was the one time, and when you messed up, then you messed up.
Well, he probably, I don't know what he gave you. He could have gave you the grade C.
You gave him grade A?
No.
Let me tell you my business, Kid.
See, no, you know what? We've been on here an hour and 30 minutes. I have given you all way more of my 420 than I personally feel like is warranted. Like, I'm gonna hit you like they did on Dave Chappelle. Wrap it up, B. I got proof that shit to do. Wrap it up, B. Like,
hold on. Is that Kid telling us to wrap it up? The one who flies all freaking day?
Wrap it up like the thing wrap up. Wrap it up.
ECB, what's up, man?
My boy.
What's good, fam? Yeah, outside. Yo, hilarious.
FYI, GMT, you can ask me anything. You don't have to be afraid of how it's going to affect me and my relationship. We good over here.
So have you ever went crazy over a guy? You ever got the grade A and went crazy?
Okay. To answer your question specifically, have I ever gotten the grade A and gone crazy? No, I've gone crazy because of a guy, but that was a whole narcissistic thing. And it was for like 10 minutes until I popped back in and remembered who I was. But that remains to be seen because I've really only got on one grade A plus 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 plus. And we gonna be together forever.
I say Jerome's in the house.
Watch your mouth. Right.
Without a doubt. We already knew what you was gonna say. You can't say that the stuff is terrible.
Matt call it cap, yo. Matt call it cap.
I don't care. What you want me to do? Prove it? No.
Hey, OnlyFans is paying $5,000 for couples. We just saying.
Jerome will kill me in my sleep.
Damn.
They pay at least 1 month's rent, right?
Nah, we good.
Yo, blockchain.
I can't stand. He on one today.
He said, yeah. One time for the titty meat.
Yo, good looking, my guy.
Time for the titty meat.
And that's exactly how I heard it in my head, Professor.
Crazy, yo. One time for the titty meat. Yo, y'all gonna get me in trouble with my wife today. Y'all out here explicit.
No, don't blame us. Don't blame us, sir.
You don't want telling the stories about you getting beat up for kitty cat. Ain't our fault.
That's all I'm asking. Hold on, first of all, I never got beat up, okay? Let's get that right. I got jumped. That's different. When you get jumped.
Absolutely beat you up.
No, I'm talking about the wife. I'm talking about going to the hood. Cat. I got jumped, right?
And then you had a girl beat up your car because you gave her too much D. Hey, you told on yourself. We didn't volunteer this.
Family is on Easter, but where are y'all at?
No. Hey, hold on. Let's get this right. Getting jumped is not getting beat up, right?
What is it?
You got jumped. If you got beat up, that's a one-on-one. If you got a one-on-one with somebody,
you got beat up by multiple people. That's how that goes. Like
you can't win that though.
I'm with GMT.
I've been jumped and won.
I'm with GMT because when you say you got jumped,
they couldn't fight.
It's like if I say I got jumped, we all know what happened. Well, we can all assume what happened, right?
That means
most
that
likely supposed to lose.
Fighting too thin to win. Because while somebody was swinging, somebody should have been jumping, and somebody should have been kicking somebody else, and that should have all been you at one time. You're supposed to turn into Jet Li. What happened, GMT? You not Jet Li?
I'm buying eggs and all.
Look,
it was one time I got jumped by. It was one time I was like I was walking out of high school. I was like 17 years old, and I got jumped by about 6 grown men. These guys were in their 30s and 40s. This is what I'm trying to say.
What's going on?
Because I got into a fight with their son in school, and I beat him up. So the father came with his uncles and everybody, and they jumped me. And these were grown men. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I didn't get beat up. I got jumped.
You got assaulted.
You are assaulted.
You're supposed to use your words, GMT. You're not supposed to fight. You're supposed to use your words to get out of things.
You got to use your words, GMT. You didn't use your words.
What was I going to say?
I got assaulted. Like we just said it. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, he said use my words. How can I get out of the fight?
You weren't supposed to fight the son. You're supposed to use your words to get out of that.
Assaulted. Those are the words. You use those and not jumped because you got assaulted by adults.
I'm taking you to court.
By teenagers, you got assaulted by adults. That's a difference.
You're supposed to pull a line from Trinidad. I'm putting charges on all you mother.
Exactly.
One of my tubes are chipped. And that was from that fight. That was from me getting jumped back there.
Oh, so you holding on to unresolved trauma?
hey, no, because at the time Fabulous was out and Nas was out, so he was good. He was in fashion. Nas and Fabo, they were all out. We all had chipped teeth.
Yeah, that was a chipped tooth thing back there.
Yeah, man. I'm about to go get a neck tattoo. I don't know about y'all. I'm about to get a neck tattoo and a charger.
You getting the butterfly?
I'm thinking about I'm gonna butterfly on one side and some girls' lips on the other, man. I'm trying to tell you, I'm about to get me a good ratchet, that's sexy red chick or something.
I need to
Now,
finish
if he has some girl lips on him, he gonna have to get that removed. I'll pay for it. He
I
can have a
mean, they
name
white
all
girl
day.
lips, so
Girls
they gonna be
lips,
skinny.
no,
You ain't gonna
because
be
what you
you won't
did,
be
you
able to
let
see
her
them.
kiss the thing and had it go in there, because those might be her real lips. No,
Yeah, but you ain't gonna be able to see them. They white girl lips.
you know what, you stupid.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to see them shit. Like,
Stupid.
what is that on the side of your neck?
I want the rest of
What
my
is it?
sleeve.
500.
You know, I'm glad no girl
Lies.
got me tattooed. You know, she would have had to keep getting bigger versions of me. I don't know if this girl got enough of that. So, but yeah, I ain't no tattoos on women. I ain't got no tattoos. But men, start branding your women. Start branding your women.
Yo, you stupid.
Wow.
Yo, listen.
Niggas top
I'm
five.
gonna let you. I'm gonna let y'all have y'all Easter Sunday back.
Yeah,
Let me
you are.
let y'all run. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining the show. Chat, thank you so much for
Thank you,
joining on an
guys.
Easter Sunday. You see, this is why I rock with y'all, right? Because y'all even rocking with me on an Easter Sunday when y'all with y'all families,
You
and it's
did great.
much appreciated, y'all. Do me a favor. Stay tuned for Meet to Marry season 2, episode 4. No, sorry, 5 drops next week, Saturday, and I promise y'all it's going to be a great episode. And then we got the reunion we're working on right behind that. So keep staying tuned with your boy. Keep up on everything we got going up on here. Thank you so much for joining the show, and I will see y'all next one. Peace. Oh, y'all can't even hear it? That's crazy. What's going on with my volume, y'all? This is wild. Listen, I don't know. Hold on.
Get your life together.
So
God dang.
it's not me. I promise you, it's not me. But
Well,
anyways, I'll see y'all on.
I'm about to pop a blue pill and be like Jesus. I'm gonna rise. So I'll holler at y'all.
You know
I'm gonna
what?
see y'all on the next one, y'all. Peace.
Wow.